What is going on, everybody? Hello and welcome to MHL Tonight. We're here live on the Flan Fan Network. My name is Mr. Hollywood, and we got an explosive night here tonight for you guys. We got two great series that we're gonna showcase here simultaneously. And you can't have a Flan Fan show. You can't have MHL Tonight with this man. They call him the MHL God, the Moose Legend. I call him the MHL God. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me here on the broadcast booth, none other than Giant 918. How's it going there, Giant? Oh, it's incredible, man. It's incredible. And what better way to start off MHL tonight? This is the first two games that we're going to see on this episode. And it's the number one team, Colorado, against the number two, Egg. And just from last night, Egg was the number one team, but they had a tough time with Toronto last night, and tonight doesn't get any easier. They're up against Colorado, who just took them in that standings. So this is a very interesting matchup here. We're midway point here of the season, and so each team wants to get the advantage. As I say that, we got a power play coming up here. We got a penalty called here against Colorado, so Egg will have their first chance here on the power play. But Giant, yeah, I mean this Egg team, they're great on here, but they did, like I said, they did have a tough time last night against Toronto, and I don't want to take anything away from Toronto. They played great last night, but I think the big part is of this team, they're missing Chum Lee this week. He's out on vacation, and it shows here why Egg has been slightly struggling here, because other than this week, they've been dominating. I mean, they've been destroying the competition, but without Chum Lee, I believe Chum Lee is a huge part in this offense. A lot of guys will say that he carries this team, and he's not there tonight, but, Egg's got other players out there. You got McSwagger out there, you got Dutch Master Dank out there, and they still got their defense. You got Cougar Hunter, you got a great goaltender in Ducky back there, so it should be an interesting matchup here between these two, Giant. First goal, Giant. First goal of MHL tonight, and we got Egg getting on the board first. Seguin. Now I don't have the rosters, the names on here. It's gonna take give us at least a couple series here, probably possibly by week 2 or 3. We'll have I believe that was Dutch Master Dank though. Dutch Master Dank got the opening goal, but here comes Colorado. Answers right back. The, the, yeah, player name there for Colorado, Dillon, with the goal, ties it up with just about 3 minutes to go here in the first period. The other game between Edmonton and Maine, that one's still in the dressing room, about to start off. Now, we were expecting to have possibly three series here tonight, but I couldn't get the third one, did not start. So, but we still have two tremendous series here, and this one right off the gates, no disappointment here. We're about that 1 minute mark here, and it's all tied up just as expected here. Final seconds left.
Yeah, very competitive. Now you're saying again, Flanny, that Chumley is such an integral part of Egg, but it still seems like a very competitive game so far. So I think as long as there are no more interruptions during the season, I mean, I don't even know. Are there any other teams that are close? I mean, Pittsburgh Penguins. No, nobody's even close to the Avalanche and the Egg. And I mean, the only thing that you can say is you want the full starting rosters over here, but everybody knows life isn't like that. You
Yeah.
know, somebody could get a broken leg. You know, when
Yeah.
they're playing in Sweden or something like that. Some guy could go on COVID reserve. So lots of things could happen over here, guys.
Absolutely. And it was Dutch Master Dank, as we see the replay there, with that backhanded goal to have the opening goal here in this series. But then it was responded right back by Colorado. So that's the end of the first there. 1-1 game here between Colorado and Egg. And, Colorado has tremendous players. Now, there's been a lot of trades that transpired in the Moose Hockey League, because we're at that midway point of the season where teams now got to do something, man. They got to either make a move here or there, but they got to get things going. And it looks like the other series is going to start up a bit here. Both teams have matched up. We got a great lineup there by both teams. So I'm going to get the dual screen going here as soon as that one that does start up here. Tremendous action. As you take a look at the stats here, pretty even here after the first. As far as shots go, as far as time and attack, pretty even. So uh,
Some hits by Colorado too, so they're good. But, I mean, you guys take a look at the top five forwards in the league, and top one, two, and three, all on the Colorado Avalanche. Shout out to Ferris one, Wet Roddy, and Butta Baker. Absolutely tremendous over here. I mean, it looks like tic tac toe. 87 points, 78 points, 73 points for the season, respectively. So these guys are absolute fire.
Definitely, man. Definitely. And when that Edmonton and Maine game does start up on here, our colleague partner, Superstar, is going to be in the game there for Maine. Now, he's not playing in net this season. He's a part timer on there, and he's playing at the left wing spot. So watch out for him there. We got ISFU, Connolly on there on that squad. So a couple great veterans that we know from the past here in the games here tonight. Egg's going to get another power play opportunity here to start period number two. They went 0 for 1 there in the first period, not successful. Let's see if they could capitalize on this power play opportunity.
All right, now when we're going over the leaders too, we're going over the goalies, but it looks like it's incorrectly in here that Ducky, who's the goalie for Egg, he's got a save percentage of over 100%. So something's incorrect over there,
Yeah.
and they fix the stats. We'll let you know, guys, but he's definitely still going to be top five over there. So shout out to Ducky. And look at the Florida Panthers, but he's only got 4 games. So don't they have minimums for some of the games played over here?
Yeah, they do. They
In order
do.
to get on the top five?
They do, Giant. Now, as you mentioned that about the stat there for Ducky, it was mentioned earlier today in the chat. Somebody did spot that as well, as you mentioned it here on the show. And it appears, I think Dutch Master Dank is the captain that inputs the stats there, and the numbers are right. He has the right numbers as far as goals allowed, but he it looks like he flipped the saves and the shots against. So once that gets, so I think that was just the issue on there. So that's definitely going to be fixed on there because you can't have over 1,000 save percentage. Before we go any further, I just want to mention we have an early goal here for Maine, getting on the boards in the first seconds of the game, and it was Superstar that put him on the board there, up 1-0 for Maine. But we got a power play opportunity here for Edmonton to see if they could respond. Egg not able to capitalize on their power play. They're 0 for 2 here in this game, and we still are tied here 1-1 in the second period of that one.
bunch of great saves over there, just made by whatchamacallit, by oh god, it was the goalie, Ducky.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just 4 or 5 shots in a row. He was just swatting away. So absolutely fantastic job by Ducky right there.
Yeah. No, Giant. I mean, Giant. His stats might be incorrect, but don't get me wrong, man. The guy's a tremendous goaltender. His stats are not that much off, man.
We got an injury over here, Flanny. Did you see that over there in Egg versus Colorado?
They actually are calling a penalty on Colorado for that. So yes, I took a big hit, but it was
Illegal boarding or something.
it was a penalty.
Very vicious hit.
So here's a third power play opportunity for Egg, who are 0 for 2 here tonight, though, to see what they capitalize. Now, Giant Man, how great is this, man? It's online. We used to do the Flan Fan Show, it'd be a show after the series on here, but now we're able to comment. We're able to do so live as the games are going on, which is great, man. A lot of guys said, Moose Hockey League, there's not much media or any media going on there, and that wasn't always the case, man. MHL, DM and MHL at one point that didn't just stand for Moose. It standed for the hottest media on the planet, man. And that's what.
Kept watching all the promo videos and stuff
And,
like that.
and I.
And that's why, what a testament to time. It's got to be over 10 years now, Flanny. Is that right?
It's got to be decades, man. You're right, man. Yeah, I mean,
Decades.
time flies, man. Time flies. I mean, look at the pandemic here. We're like on year two here almost, So yeah, I mean this. MHL on here, and look with the show here for MHL tonight, you're getting the hottest media ever. You're getting great broadcast commentary here by none other than Giant 918, Mr. Hollywood here. We'll probably have some other special guests, when we go live next week. This is just a test run on here. We want to see how things going. There'll be a lot of improvement after this weekend as far as connectivity goes and as far as other features that we'll be bringing into the show, possibly some pregame or postgame interviews from some of the players. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man,
Yeah, and we believe we're going to be promoting it. It's going to be promoted a lot more as well too. Again, guys, so this is just pretty much a test run. But what a night to do a test run when you got the number one and number two hottest teams in the Moose tonight. And Edmonton and Maine is on too, but I think most of the eyes are on Egg versus Colorado. And it's just very, very tight game,
yep.
very defensive. 1-1, just about starting to wrap up in the second 3 minutes left in the
Yeah.
period.
Yeah, both games actually tied up. Edmonton just scored and they're on the board. They responded. It's a 1-1 game there as well with about 5 minutes to go. I want to say something about this series in particular. Now, these two teams did face each other early in the season, where Maine, I believe they swept them. I know they won that series, but I think tonight is going to be a little bit different. Not only is it in the midway point of the season, but there's also been a lot of trades
Nice,
that happen.
nice one-timer by Maine over there
It
scoring.
looks like that was Connolly. No, the centerman there, ISFJU Connolly. Remember that guy, man?
Oh,
Yeah, that's the
ISFU Connolly. Yeah,
yeah.
he's still playing too. Shout out
Oh
to
yeah. He goes by a
ISFU Connolly. Oh, and there's a. Oh man, that was like
non-stop action here, Giant going on, and yeah, he goes by a different name now. It's he's called Mox.
looks like Colorado just scored a goal. Wow.
They have with 2.0 seconds left in the second period. How huge is that? And it was a goal by Hughes who makes the goal, and that's big because now they're going to be heading into the third period, and those late second goals, giving those up. That was a wet Roddy with the goal.
That is definitely a momentum killer. That is potentially a momentum killer. You can't be giving up a goal with 2 seconds left in the period, guys. It is a heartbreaker. Fantastic shot over there, a little snipe, and it's just gonna happen. Ducky's not gonna be able to save everything there.
Yeah, there wasn't much he could do on there, man. That was a pass right across, one timer,
There
and
was nothing much
And Wet just buried that. And Wet Roddy is for Colorado is leading also. Oh, he's up there in top five scoring or points. I know he's up there as well. Um, and I mean, we look at the stats here, Giant. I mean, one thing that points out to me here, Egg 0 for 3 on the power play. And that hurts. And look at their time attack, 540 to 257, but they're down in this game 2-1. The score that matters, man. All those other numbers don't matter.
Got to capitalize
It's
in the offensive zone.
yeah,
You just you got to capitalize. You can't do that.
yeah. It's 2-1, and Maine off to a great start. After that Connolly goal, they scored another one. It's 3-1 at the end of the first. So they got
It's an absolute
they
massacre
they
right now.
they,
I mean, Edmonton's got to turn it around.
they got a 2-goal lead in that one now. So we'll see if Edmonton's able to bounce back on this one. Like I said earlier, meeting in the season, Maine did dominate and beat the Oilers. But like I said, I think it's a tougher Oilers team here tonight, and a team that has gone through some trades as well. And we'll see. As period number 3 starts off here in the Colorado series, it's a 2-1 game. China, what do you think, man? You think Egg's gonna bounce back in this one, or you think Colorado is gonna close it out?
Going to, but they got to capitalize. If they're in the offensive zone, I mean, they have to capitalize. That's exactly what needs to happen. It's absolutely crazy that they're not able to do that. You know?
And right now, I guarantee Dutch is so much he wishes that he would have Chum Lee in this game here. Uh,
He's talked about the chemistry preseason and throughout the season. You know?
Yeah, I mean, you look at this Egg team. It's so ironic. They name themselves Egg. Usually, Egg means zero, nothing. But not this team. This team scores a lot of goals, and generally, it's their opponents that they keep as an Egg. Shut them down. But without Chum Lee, it just shows you how much offense, how much a big part of this team Chumley is without him tonight. But same token, man, I also don't want to take much away from Colorado. They are the number one team as after last night's series results.
We started the series tonight. Yeah, they
So
really were.
so
They are.
and it's just as expected. Nail burner here, man. The barn burner, like Jim Ross would say, man. Here in the third period, let's see if Egg could bounce back here, or can Colorado hold off? It was a huge. If you're just joining in, it was a huge goal in that second period with 2.0 seconds left. The game was tied up, and right now that could be the game winner if it ends like this, and it would be Red Roddy with the game winner.
Yeah, and it's just under 10 minutes left in the period, and that clock is ticking real fast.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get it together. They're going to make some moves. They got to do it real fast. Edmonton, Maine, still looks like it's 3-1 over there.
Yeah, that one still has a lot of time because that one did start up a little bit later, a few minutes later than this one, about maybe like 5 minutes apart. So Edmonton still has plenty of time. That one's just midway point there of the second period, so they got a whole second half of the game left. But in this one here, for Egg, who seems to be dominating in all of the stat categories, not really dominating, but having the advantage in there, but it's the score that matters, man. We're not here. It doesn't matter how close the games are. We ain't playing no horseshoes, no hand grenades, man. It's a,
It looks like
it's
they just can't materialize anything. It looks like Egg is just
it's
struggling in the offensive zone.
it's all about that W.
Yeah, they're trying to pass it and stuff, and they're just losing it. The defense by Colorado is unbelievable right
Yeah,
now.
and that's
They got a shot on goal just now, but
I think that's where it separates these two teams. I think Colorado has a very very solid defense. A lot of people talk about their offense, but defensively they're great, man, and they're showing it here tonight against a very powered offense team here, holding them to only one goal. That early goal there by Dutch Master, but outside of that, Egg has been very silent here, and the big stat category I got to bring up again, that power play opportunity. They had three chances, 5-on-4 opportunity, and weren't able to capitalize on either one of those.
yeah, and the clock is ticking. There's less than 4 minutes left in the third. Uh, so we'll see what happens. Doesn't look too promising right now for Egg, but we'll see. 4 minutes could be,
Yeah, I know they're without Chumley, and also I know Swagger's not playing there tonight. Connor McSwagger, man, he ain't there tonight. So, because you got to understand, you got a big roster team, so where you got to split the members between the days and the games. And tonight, unfortunately, Swag is off. Chumley is the one that's on vacation. He's not there. So, and it looks like they're struggling. If this happens in, let's say, the playoffs on here, it's going to be disappointing there because Egg has had such a successful season here thus far. Even though we still have halfway to go, man. So, and at this point, this is when you want to step up. This is where the games matter, especially for the teams that are looking to get into that playoff spot. Like you have that Edmonton team and Maine battling there, which is I think very important series there for Edmonton. However, they are down 3-1, about 2 minutes to go in the second period. And Giant, here's the final seconds. Let me just bring it up on a bigger screen here. We got about 30 seconds left. Let's see if Egg can do anything here to try and bounce back and win it.
Yeah, and it doesn't appear that the case. They're just
No.
going for the wraparound shootout.
Yeah.
They are
They
just brutalizing Egg.
they almost listen. They almost able to put the nail in the coffin there, but Ducky's able to cover that up, so the game's still on. Look at those stats, man. 8 minutes time attack to only 4 minutes of Colorado. That's double the amount of time, but hey. They're winning, man. They're getting more shots than Egg is on there. Passing, percentage is much better for Colorado. So looks like, they're just playing better, man. 20,
Yeah, let the Duckies come back in the second, baby.
23 seconds now left here. Let's see if Egg has one final rush on there. And now this is real time, 22 seconds. So they still have time to set up and get that play going, but they got to do it now, man.
Yeah, this is it. They didn't even win the face-off.
Big
Once the overtime goes over here,
crucial,
it's pretty much a wrap.
crucial face. So final 10 seconds. Hold on, Giant. Here's the one last rush here for Egg, but no, it's turned over and a great smart dumping it down the ice there, and that's gonna do it. So that's the final, and Colorado taking game one, 2-1 final. Hughes with the game winner with that 2.0 seconds left. As we see the highlight here, 2 seconds left, Giant, in that second period, and that's what ended it. That's what separated this series here. So Colorado will take game one. Now, in the Moose Hockey League, we do play two. Two games will be played here tonight. So Furious Lund scoring the first goal, and then Wet Roddy with the game winner there for Colorado, winning that one 2-1. Let me switch off to the other series here.
Yeah, now, lots of famous, two famous sports psychologists out there, and it's essentially, it's like you got to move on to the next day, you know? So if you're in a funk from that first game, you need to move on. Just, it's a new game. Egg has an opportunity to fix whatever failures that they had in the previous game. They have an opportunity here, and the same thing. It doesn't look like much is changing in Edmonton versus Maine. It just looks like somebody's going on the power play over here.
Yeah, so
Edmonton.
we're in the third period here, and that was no, it was Maine. Um,
Incredible. So there's nothing that goalie could do over there.
Yeah, listen, when you're down and you're taking penalties, you're putting yourself in a much bigger hole. And now it's 4-1, and that's a hat trick for Mox, aka Connelly, scoring the hat trick. He's got three of them. Giant 4-1 superstar with the other goal, and they're up 4-1. So what about the captain, man? On there, stepping up, man. Mox,
Alex Marinelli, dude, he's killing it, bro.
absolutely,
He's
absolutely, absolutely.
oh, and they come from behind finally. I think you're
Okay,
right back, and they score a goal.
and they need it.
Needed that very badly.
I agree. I agree, man. That's his second goal of the game. Jesus on there is the player name. I don't have the actual gamer tag on that, but he gets the second goal and the only one scoring so far here for Edmonton, but puts him within two. So it's not over yet, man. There's still a lot of time here in the third period. Plenty of time to come back and try to tie this. That was a big goal for them.
More pressure on the goalie over here. I think that defense just took too long to take that shot. He got the puck. He just held it there for a while, and then he shot it wide.
Uh,
You got to make your shots faster.
Absolutely, man. A tip there from Giant 918.
Playoff.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Great defensive play by Maine over there, getting that puck, getting it out of the zone, and they recovered nicely. I mean, Edmonton still got a shot over here, but they are down two goals. That is hard to come back from, and when there's only 12 and some change left in the game, it's really hard.
I agree, man. I agree. So, if you guys just joining in, Colorado took game one there, 2-1 final over Egg in game one. They're about getting ready to start off game two. We'll bring you in double screen here once that does occur. But here we go, Giant. Once again, Edmonton bounced back on here and on a
Oh, and they got a short-handed goal.
delay penalty. Yeah, it was a delay penalty coming up, but they're not going to need it to stay score. What a wrap around uh,
How did the goalie let that in? That
to,
was so Martin Brodeur, 1996 style.
Tanaka scoring sure-handed. You're right, Giant. You're right, man. 11 minutes to
That was tremendous, and they have some momentum now.
with,
They can't mess this. I mean, they need to stop this. Oh man.
with 11 minutes to go, man. I mean, wow. So hold the phone. This one's not over yet. We got another nail biter here. One goal game. Just has
The pressure over there, short-handed. I don't know what's going on with Maine over here.
yeah. Just as we saw,
They got a shot at
you know,
some icing.
yeah, I believe so. Just as we saw the other series, Giant was a one-goal game down to the final seconds. This one might come down to it, man. I mean, can Edmonton force an overtime here? They only need one goal. At one point, they were down three goals. It was 4-1 here, Giant, in the third period. They were down on a power penalty kill, but they capitalized short-handedly and make it this a one-goal game here. With a lot of time left, man. I mean, we got 8, 9 minutes to go. The other series starting up here for Colorado. What do you think, Giant, here? You think they're going to split it 1-1, or you think Colorado was going to take both?
It's a new game. It's a new game. Anything's possible. I'm a fan of those guys, Chumlee, but again, if you guys got the chemistry, you got it going on, you're used to these guys on your starting line. It's very important that these guys are here. Unfortunately, he isn't. So
Yeah.
it's just a tough gig right now.
I think Egg does bounce back. I mean, as far as most of the stats last game, they were winning. They just couldn't win the game. So I think they do bounce back and tie the series here tonight. But I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado came up and won both games tonight. And if they do, as far as standing wise, that's going to be huge for them. They're already above Egg, and they will expand much further after tonight if that does happen. For Egg, I think they gotta fix up the mistakes they did game one. If they get that power play opportunity here in game two, they gotta capitalize on those. They failed 0-for-3 in game one, and had they capitalized on one of those, it might have been a different game. Uh,
Definitely do. And you want to flip over here. It seems like something's a little bit crooked, right?
ooh, ooh,
Send it out.
ooh,
What we got?
on the other game, their main goaltender with a huge save right off the face-off across crease, and he was there. That we almost had a tie game there. And look at the stats. They're down 4-3, but Edmonton has come alive here in the third period. They're out shooting them double amount of the shots. Look at that, 16 to 9. So time on attack, shots on goal, everything in favor there for Edmonton. And the difference here, look at the power play. Maine, a team that did capitalize. We talk about Egg not capitalizing. Maine, on the other hand,
I mean,
2-for-3.
they're
Uh,
yeah.
Two for three, and that's what's separating that series because had they not get those power play or at least one of those, it would have been tie game or Edmonton could be on top right now. So
Yeah, and they're coming on 1 minute left in the
uh,
game.
I'm gonna bring that one up, Giants. Since we've got final minute left on that, let's bring that one up here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. And we got a goal, man. So off the face-off, they end up scoring. Cheese with the goal.
It looks like it's probably going to overtime. How exciting is that?
Assisted by Tanaka. Tanaka got getting a couple points here tonight in this game. So what a comeback here by Edmonton.
Yeah, what a spectacular by Edmonton, man. I mean,
We're
unbelievable, mad dangerous. It's under a minute left. I mean, you got to hold on. You got to at least get 1 point.
so it looks like we might be heading to overtime in this one. And at one point, Edmonton was down 4-1 in the third period.
Edmonton is driving again. I mean, they are having
What
so much momentum at this point.
what happened to Maine? I mean, Maine was dominating, man. I mean, they were scoring back to back, just lighting it up, and then once Edmonton got started, it just a whole 360 happened, Giant.
Yep, 20 seconds left. A
Mo-
nice shot on goal there by
momentum
Edmonton.
definitely in favor of Edmonton right now,
Yeah, the Big Mo. The Big Mo.
and wow. 4.3 seconds. Listen, even if they lose this game, I mean, just to get this game to go overtime, to get a point out of this game where they were down 4-1 on here, that's a win.
Very
You know,
impressive. Very impressive.
but I know they want the W. They need the win on here because as far as standings go, they're they're one of those teams that fighting to make that playoff spot. Top eight
Yep.
make it.
Yep.
So
I checked the record prior to the series start. So Maine has got a winning record. Let's see what I can tell you.
and listen, for Maine, and what's crazy, Mox has a hat trick here for Maine, and it's a tie game, man. It's a tie game. So I mean, Mox can't do everything. I guess. I mean, Maine's got to step up. They got to
Yep.
play.
Maine's got a
It's
great win percent. I mean, they are 14-12. Edmonton is struggling 9-10, just under
man,
500. But I mean, the Mariners, they're like friggin'. I mean,
no,
what a 67% win percentage.
no,
Holy
they.
crap!
No, they are, man, and they've been rolling lately as well. They actually played Egg not too long ago, and I thought they played them in a great series. They ended up losing that one, but they played Egg very tough in the regular season there a couple nights ago. But tonight, man, Edmonton bouncing back here, tying this one up. We got a tie game, and Colorado and Egg after period number one. This one's tied as well, 0-0. Just joining in, Colorado took game one, 2-1 final. We got another close one here, 0-0.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just
It's
another nail biter
yeah.
right here.
It
Very defensive game, trying to get shots on goal as much as you can,
yeah.
and I think we can expect much of the same. It's not crazy football numbers that they're scoring in the first game. I don't think it's going to happen again in the second game. I think it's going to be a low scoring game.
John, I think it's one of those games where whoever could score first here is going to win this game here between Egg and Colorado because they both play great defensively. The goaltending is tremendous. Ducky had some great saves there in the first period to keep Egg, keep this as a shutout right now. But we'll see how things go. We'll see how things go here. Second period.
Old school Quebec Nordiques
They do, man. I love that.
play.
I love that. And we got an OT win here, Giant in Edmonton,
Oh,
coming back.
what a meltdown by the Maine Mariners. Congrats, Edmonton. Those guys fought back like hell, and they got it done. They got the job done. They needed that W so bad, and they got the W. Let's see if they can repeat that in
Yeah.
game number two.
And you kind of felt that was happening, when you got that type of momentum, Giant. Whether it's hockey, whether
Shorthanded
you know
goals. Unbelievable.
any sport, once that momentum comes, the other team, just that
Huh?
that's what it is. And that's exactly what it was here for Maine. Jumping on an early 4-1 lead in this game, end up losing 5-4. Yes, they get a point here, Giant, but man, I mean, you gotta do better than that. And your goaltenders make it tremendous.
Contemplating overtime loss for the Mighty Mariners.
And Jules was playing great there for Maine. He had great saves, much more saves than the Edmonton goalie, but they just couldn't get things going. I mean, they fell apart in that third period, and then came overtime. Here comes Edmonton. So we'll see how game two goes here. Game two here in Colorado, it's all tied up 0-0 here, and this is what we expected. Top two teams in the league, you're gonna get games like this. So both great games actually great tonight, Giant. We picked a we picked a solid night.
Competitive, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very competitive. Nothing blowouts good. And hell, we probably keep the main game.
Yeah.
Probably keep one game primary screen.
Yeah, and this is a test run here for MHL Tonight. We didn't really advertise this on the site. It is going to be posted. Some guys may be able to witness this live, but when you guys do watch it, let us know. Leave us a comment, like on there, what you guys think of the show, and we'll like to come back next week. Next week we'll definitely advertise this on here. We're hoping to get 4 streams, a max of 4 streams each night that we do the show. Right now it looks like we're possibly gonna do 1 or 2 shows each week. I'm aiming for two each week. I don't want to overkill ourselves. Maybe for when it comes to like playoffs or like some important games, we might come on more nights. And I'll have other guests on here, like either Superstar and maybe the president, Blue Liner, on here to join me in on the commentary for other nights that Giants not here. But we'll always have a great broadcast commentary group here for you guys, nonetheless. Um,
Just under 10 minutes now in the Egg and Colorado game, and there's still no score over here. Very competitive. Lots of action in the neutral zone as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, Giant. I'll bring that one up into the screen. We get a higher screen on here for this one, since the other one's still in the dressing room. They just finished. Like I said, the start of the Edmonton game was a little bit delayed, so that'll probably be the final, which is great because we get to feature this one on the big screen, and then when that one starts up, we'll get the closing one on the Edmonton series. But what a tremendous night here. Just these 2 games. I know there's other games going on in the Moose as well. We were expecting actually to have 3 tonight, but it's fine. It's just a test run. But like I said, next week we're definitely hoping to have 3, possibly 4 each night that we do the show. Get more teams, get more players, recognition here in the league, who they are and stuff. So I think a lot of guys will like this, Giant. I think, it's something cool, something new, it's live and stuff in your face, you gotta love it.
Yeah,
I wish
very much. This is very exciting.
wish we had this back in the day when we were doing the Flan fan shows, and stuff, man. This would have been great.
Yeah, we
You,
used to
you,
love the
you,
excitement and stuff.
but here you're getting both. You're getting both.
Yeah, it was very successful. I thought it
Yeah,
was very successful tonight.
yeah. Oh, it was, man. It was. I love doing it too. I mean, at that point, John, we had all the time in the roll too, man. No kids. I don't even think we were married yet. A mortgage, house payment. It was great, man.
Never here.
No.
Typical government mentality.
Abs-
Everything is fucking upside down now in clown world, fellas.
Absolute.
We just got under a minute left in Colorado and Egg, and
Still 0-0. Still scoring.
still, it's such a
Eh,
tight game. Edmonton versus Maine is starting up
Yeah,
in
and
their second game.
And Giant, like I said, I predicted first team to score is gonna win, and it might be, man. It's 0-0 right now, heading into the third period. Both goaltenders playing tremendously defensively, both teams as well. And even the first game was only a 2-1 final. There was that one goal with that 2 seconds left, so it really wasn't much scoring in that first game either.
Yeah, it's very tense, very tense.
Yeah, and I think it more favors Colorado a game like this. As far as Egg's more about scoring, getting those goals. They had tremendous goals this season, but that big part of that offense is not there tonight, and it's showing.
Yeah, yeah, you
Wh-
said it. I mean, Chum Lee, you got to get
wh-
back from wherever you are, homie, and don't get sick while we're
What?
who knows?
I know he went on vacation. No, no, he went on vacation. I don't know where he went though. Where he's at, but
I would have posted up. Yo, cite those snitches who are gonna try to document authorities and stuff. Get lost, man.
oh man, oh man. So, John, what do you think here? This second game here, Edmonton and Maine. What do you think is gonna happen here, man? Is Edmonton gonna take both?
Man, he's so deflated.
Mm,
I don't know what the strategy is. I mean, Knox, he's got to fix that
yeah.
shit, dude. You can't be having a 4-1 lead and then fucking losing it in
C-
overtime.
c-
That's embarrassing, dude.
in collapse, and
Against a team that's under 500, and it looks like someone just scored a goal.
we do. Egg, man, Egg getting on the board here to start period number three.
3-1.
Not even a minute in of the third period.
That's a huge goal. Huge goal.
Yeah.
Low scoring game. Third
So
period absolutely needed it. And they are, oh man, they are shook.
wow.
Colorado is shook, and they are trying to
Yeah.
pound it to them. And you
That's
can't play defensively all the time either.
yeah.
So
It's gonna be
Edmonton
interesting.
just has to,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, it's great you point that out, China. 'Cause it's gonna be interesting. Because game one, Colorado was up, man. It was Egg had to bounce back, and now
They
Colorado,
did.
but they
And they
do.
come right back. Colorado
Wow.
comes right
S-
back with a one-timer.
That
Not much of a chance for the goalie.
I
And they
Ironside.
make one, dude.
Ironside with the goal assisted there by Wet Roddy, and that lead giant lasted maybe a minute. so
Tied up.
so
Crazy.
so
Crazy.
we're tied up once again. And then in that other series, the Edmonton, I wanted to point out, I said earlier that yes, Maine swept them in their prior meeting. They won both games, but I said tonight might be different. There's been a lot of trades. It's
Edmonton is going on the
it,
power play right
it's
now.
yeah, it's different teams on here. It's totally different Edmonton here tonight, and I think Giant here. It's how I think how this game starts here in the first period. Because if Edmonton gets on the board again, I think that meltdown's going to continue for Maine.
The meltdown continues. I mean, Ducky had no chance on that. It was cross crease. They were pounding down. I mean, no chance by Ducky to get that one.
Yeah,
Absolutely perfect play. Shout out to Colorado for that
yeah.
play right there.
And,
Unbelievable.
and that was Hughes, aka Wet Roddy, with the goal, and he's the one that had the game winner in game one. He might
Oh, that's what Hughes is. That
he might have another game winner here if the score remains this way. It's 2-1 in favor of Colorado. So Egg again in that time where now they're down again, just as game one, and they have to try to tie this. And Edmonton gets on the board 1-0 for Edmonton, so they pick up right where they left off at the end of the first game, bouncing back. That
and the advantage is
yeah,
on power play.
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's what I think Egg needs. But Colorado is not taking penalties here this game to put them in that type of predicament. But yeah, Edmonton's been good on the power play tonight, man. They've been capitalized at game one. They had a couple power play goals, and they start off here this game. And for Maine, man, it happens. I mean, when you lose a game down 4-1, the other team comes back and then wins it in overtime. You know, I don't think Maine wants to play this game here. I mean, they don't look like it on the ice there, man. I mean, the struggle continues here, and if Edmonton gets another goal here, Giant, it's gonna be a tough hole there for Maine.
Yeah, and it looks like Egg's just struggling over here as well. Even when they get it into the offensive zone, I mean, they are just being swarmed
Yeah.
by Colorado, and they're just making like a wall in front of the goalie too. They're not trying to let anything even go to the net.
Yeah. And this just shows you how much Chum Lee carries this team. You talk about a guy who carries. I mean, how big is that backpack with Chum Lee? I mean, he's not here tonight, and it's a team that doesn't even look like the number two team out there. I think Edmonton is playing a much better than this Egg team here tonight. I mean, they've got what 2 goals all night. You can't have that, man. You can't win games with just one goal. I mean, unless you're shutting them out, you gotta shut them out.
Usually never works just one goal.
And Ducky's been playing great. I mean, the goaltending there for Egg has been tremendous.
You can't be taking the shots at Jazz, and the defense has not been playing that well for Egg as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And in that Edmonton series, it was Chad on top who got the opening goal there in game number two to put Edmonton up. That one's at the end of the first intermission. There, 1-0 Edmonton. If you're just joining in, Edmonton did take game number one, 5-4 in overtime. And this one here, look at the shots, Giant. 15-5 in favor of Colorado. I mean, wow.
They are peppering. They are peppering Ducky with shots.
He's.
You can't even expect to. You can't expect to get a.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? You can't expect to win a game if you get five shots on net.
the amount of rubber he's seeing here tonight, Giant, they're gonna call him the rubber ducky, man, because,
Yeah.
phew, man. But 1 minute left. Let me just bring
Well
that.
over a minute left.
Let me bring that one up here. Final minute. See if Egg can do anything here to try and force overtime like Edmonton did in that other series. They could not do it in game one. Can Colorado hold on again? And if they do, they'll take 4 points here tonight, and that's huge, huge for Colorado, who's already
Yeah,
ahead.
they'll be isolated and stand alone in first place, and that's pretty much all they need. I mean, you take a look. There's just over 2 seconds left.
Yeah, and that brings also a huge part because even if when it comes to standings in the playoffs, you win these head-to-head matchups as well against Egg, it's big. So and they go on the power play here. I think this one's done. All she wrote. They're already up one, and
Power
X
play isn't
X
the answer to the game anymore.
X
It's not going to work.
gonna need to do a short-handed goal if they're gonna come back here. But right now they can't even get it out of their zone on here to even make things happen. You can't pull the goaltender or anything. So, yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
That
congrats, Colorado. You are in sole first place with nobody even near you. I mean, Duck is there, but they are simply not the same team without their full roster. Lanny, I mean,
no,
it's not going to happen, Holly.
no, no, absolutely, man. I know a lot of these teams have been involved in some trades and transactions, but still, man, midway point here in the season, you got to have things figured out here by this point. Yes, the trade deadline, that occurred, and a lot of
You
teams
got
made the moves,
contingency plans. That you're
but
right. You need contingency plans.
you know,
And
def,
Lillard being the captain, the management of the team is having contingency plans for when your full roster isn't there.
yeah,
Now, the same thing could happen in the playoffs too. Something catastrophic could happen to Colorado. You know, maybe they'll have some fucking.
mm,
Maybe somebody lives in California. Oh my God.
yeah,
And Edmonton they just are killing it right now.
and that.
Fantastic goal by Edmonton right there, and they're up 2-0.
And that's Cheese, Chet on top with the goal. We had a tremendous game one here. He has got both of the goals here for Edmonton in game number two as they take a two-goal lead. So now it's Maine with their backs against the wall. Edmonton had to come back 4-1 in game one. Now it's Maine's turn to try to bounce back. There's still a lot of time left here. We're about midway point in the second period, but John, when we looked at this earlier, when the night just started, I mean, Edmonton looked awful. They were down 4-1. We're like, oh man, this is gonna be easy cakewalk here for Maine. But once they started rally, it's like Maine is just not the same team anymore.
No, they aren't. They look absolutely lost over here, and they're scrambling. They look nervous.
So,
There's no cohesion over here either. They look very frustrated, and they really need to get it together because
yeah.
this isn't going to work. Whatever game plan they have right now, it's not working, and Edmonton is absolutely annihilating them when they're in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I mean, they just can't. They can't even get it the puck out of there right now. But I mean, your captain Mox there scores 3 goals in game number one, and you don't even win the game. He got a hat trick there in game number one, and right now he's the only guy really scoring. I mean, Superstar had the other goal there, so the whole team's only got 1 goal besides Mox, and that's got to change. It's a team game here. You can't expect Mox to do everything on here, and they're gonna take another power penalty here, a tripping penalty called, and that's on Superstar. He's gonna go in the box, and and right now Edmonton's gonna look to it's ugly, Giant. It's about to get more uglier.
Yeah, there's no question about it. I mean, you figure down again, it's that desperation, and at a point where you can't really take a penalty, that's exactly what the Maine Mariners did, and it's a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely, absolutely. So power play opportunity here for Edmonton. They did capitalize on one earlier in the first period. They get another chance here, but here's a chance here for Maine going the other way, but no, that one's not denied. But they do take a lot of clock off that power play. Good penalty kill here shown by Maine. Um, with 1 second left on the power play. So they're going to kill this one off, but they got to get offense going now. They're being shut out here 2-0 in favor of Edmonton with 5:53 to go here in the second period. If you guys just tuning.
Why don't you let our viewers know how many games are in the regular season? How many teams make the playoffs? You know?
Yeah, well, there's 13 teams, and eight make the playoffs. So as of right now, so that would mean five would be eliminated. So those 5 teams right now are trying to make that. Edmonton's one of those teams looking to get in, looking to bounce in there, and trying to make things happen. But speaking about making things happen, here's another penalty taken by Maine, and they're not going to score goals like this, especially when it's the captain, your centerman, Mox taking the penalty there. So he's in the box there. They're already down 2. It might get more. It might Edmonton trying to make it 3 here. But yeah, Giant, it's gonna be 8 teams that make the playoff spot. So it's definitely a battle there, man. There's a lot of teams here this season.
So 24 games, maybe 26 after tonight, and so how many games in the regular season?
Well, right now this week, tonight and then tomorrow night ends this week. And like I said, we're like midway point of the regular season. There's
It's like 48 games.
there's about 6 weeks, 6 weeks in total, and this is week 4, so you got about 2 weeks left after tonight. Tomorrow is Thursday. It will end week number 4, and then there's 2 more weeks after that. Yeah. And in the Moose here, each team plays every night. It's Monday through Thursday, 4 nights a week, 2 games each. So we're playing 8 games each week on there. So the season actually goes really really quick. You put eight games each week, six weeks. That's almost 50 games. Um,
Dedication.
uh,
That's dedication.
yeah, which is
It's a testament. It's a testament to the Moose too.
Yeah, and with that, you got to have a team that's well in depth, man, because you need players each night on there. So as far as availability goes, as far as your backups, everybody plays, and some guys might play more nights than others, but um, and I missed a goal there. It looked like Edmonton did score the goal, and you know who it was? Is the man that's been lighting the board here, especially game 2. That's Chet on top, call him Cheese as the player name. He's got a hat trick here already. 3-0.
Congrats, Chet.
You know,
MVP of the night.
but the game's not over yet. He could get more. That's 3-0 in favor of Edmonton Oilers. Wow, what a performance here for Edmonton. I mean, Giant, what'd you say? They're like what in the middle of the pack there of the standings when you looked at that earlier. So
Yeah, and this should bring them. This should bring them up.
yeah, because they were like just below 500. So with this win, both win here tonight, that'll put them up there, man. Look at that, 2-4-3 on the power play.
They can move ahead. They're in eighth place, so they're on the cusp of the playoffs.
Yeah. Look at the shots.
still past Calgary Flames.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at the shots on goal here. 16-3. Edmonton all over Maine here tonight. We had a close one.
Edmonton has a home advantage. You know, it's
So,
it's hard to believe. I know there's connectivity issues too. I don't know how frequently guys lag out still in 2021, but
yeah,
the internet that's out there is far superior than it was 10 years ago.
yeah.
Without question.
And John, if we look at this series, I mean, if we go back to period number three of game number one, where they're down 4-1, Edmonton has had scored four unanswered goals in that game one, and this game here three unanswered. So they scored seven goals in a row, where Maine hasn't done anything since they had that 4-1 lead.
Yeah, yeah, and they're trying to get something going. But I mean, they get in the offensive zone, and it goes right back to Edmonton, and Edmonton putting it on the pressure, and they're just trying to get it out of the zone. The main Mariners are just trying to get it out of the zone. They're struggling just to get it out of the zone. And then when they get into the offensive zone, it looks like they got a steal over here.
Yeah.
See if we can get any activity, but it was stolen right back by Edmonton. Edmonton's driving again.
Yeah. And the points are very close in the standings. Edmonton with 28 points. The Mariners are only 1 point ahead of them. So they win this series here tonight, take all 4 points. Even the 1 point given there for the Mariners on that overtime loss. Edmonton will bounce over them, and they're only 3 points behind Boston, four behind Panthers, and five Pittsburgh. So it's within reach. I mean, one solid night like this by a team could really move up those ranks. And here come Maine, finally on the board here. And who is it? It's Mox. Mox Connolly, the guy that's
Desperately needed that goal.
yeah.
Little less
He,
than 13 minutes left in the game in regulation,
he
and
He took a late penalty in that second period, but then where Edmonton was able to capitalize score, but he gets back on the ice here in the third period and puts his team within two. So within reach on here. Still a lot of time. We've seen a crazy comeback in game one that was done by the Oilers. So,
nice shot on net.
let's see if Maine
Maine.
can do the same here. About midway done of the third period, third and final period here. 3-1 game. You guys just tuning in. Colorado tonight swept Egg both games there. 1 goal games though, all close throughout the night. But Colorado took all 4 points here tonight, and Egg came out as the Egg, 0 points here tonight against Colorado.
Yeah, and I would guess they're in a league of their own, essentially.
Oh, this is
The
big,
penalty is coming up.
big here.
This penalty is on Edmonton, and we saw what Maine did last game. They capitalized on those power plays big time. So we'll see if they can do it again this game. And there isn't much time left, but you gotta win the face-off when you got the power play too. Let's see if they can get some act. They give it right back to Edmonton. Edmonton clears the puck.
This is big power play opportunity. I mean, you're down 2 goals here. You got to capitalize. If they could capitalize on this, it's anybody's game at that point, man. With plenty of time. So good power play opportunity chance here for Maine in the offensive zone here. Great steal. Right behind that net, can they capitalize here? Still, Edmonton not able to get the puck out of there. They need to clear this one out. And are we going to have another penalty? Is it going to be a 5-on-3? Yeah,
Interference.
5-on-3. So they're going to call a timeout, I believe, right now. So, all right, hold the phone here. This one might not be over, yeah.
Timeout too, because they give people a chance.
Well, yeah, you know what? You have like a turbo boost thing, and your guy has like that you could use. You'll see Mox's is on the left side of the screen. So when it gets to like red, like he has limited timeout, he could refresh that. So if you've been running up and down a lot, but it's also it pauses the game and stops it on here. Get to regroup, get to get the game plan going. And sometimes it's a psych out thing too, Giant. So as you can see right now, JC on the bottom there has full green because of that timeout. So a rightfully good call to call it at that point.
I can't believe what Edmonton's doing over here. They almost got a shot on net on
Yeah,
that penalty kill with a 5-on-3. It's just
off a
crazy
timeout. Off a
happening.
timeout, nonetheless.
Yeah, that timeout didn't do anything. And we're back like we're at full strength already, Flanny.
Almost 20 seconds left here on the power play, and I didn't even think Maine got a shot on that, man. And they had their chances. They got the opportunity. It was actually 5-on-3 for a couple seconds. They couldn't win the face-off, and it seemed like Edmonton controlled the puck there, was able to
Full
clear it.
strength now. Looks like
Ooh,
about 5 minutes to play.
great pass in front, but
Man, if they got that pass through, that would have been a goal, man. That very close.
so
Back on side.
they're getting the chances here, Giant. They got the opportunity. Superstar with that shot, Mox with the rebound, but that one goes wide, and Edmonton still holding this two-goal lead here. Under 3 minutes to go here. Um, Final 2 minutes left. So time's going real quick. They're running out of time here. They've been giving a great opportunity, great chances, but Edmonton able to shut them down, and that one's gonna hurt. There's gonna be a penalty coming up. The late penalty here against Maine, and that might just do it, Giant. Final minute of play here.
There's nothing you can do at this point.
You're down 2 goals, and now you're down a man here.
I mean, we've seen that in both games tonight. I mean, taking a penalty with less than 2 minutes left in the game,
Yeah. I
it just can't happen.
I mean, I know you're trying to tie the game, so you're playing a little bit more aggressive, and that's what happens. It comes, you start, you're running out of time, so guys get frustrated, guys, and and we talk about how mentally this is, after you lost that game one after that comeback loss, and you get just they're too frustrated. Now look, they're down 5-on-3 here on the PK. Yeah, this one's about done here. 2-goal lead. So Edmonton, a tremendous showing here tonight, man.
And on the two W's in this series, and they surpassed Calgary Flames uh, in the standings.
Absolutely.
They're in pretty good shape, and not only that, they got momentum now.
Yeah.
Can they take this to the next series that they have tomorrow? Stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, they're just getting sloppy here. And that's going to do it here, Giant. Final seconds. So before we close out, I just want to let everybody know, this what we have as an idea here for MHL Tonight, giving you guys live multi games happening at once, possibly 3, maybe even 4 games next week we're going to try to do. But here's just a preview. We wanted to run a test run, see how it goes. I'll check the recording later on to see how things went. As that one ends right there, that's the final. And we're also gonna bring some other stuff. We got gonna have a upgrade in the internet quality on here. We're gonna upgrade the amount of games as well. I know once guys see the show here, there'll probably be a little bit more streams happening too in the league, and the more media, the better. And we're gonna try to pick like the best 4 games happening that night. So we'll get a lot of teams, a lot of players on here on the show. Guarantee that before the season ends.
Right.
All right, John. Well, thanks for joining, man. Thanks for bringing the broadcast here. Appreciate it. Always having you on the show is great.
Thanks for having me, guys. We appreciate you guys watching us tonight. Hopefully next week we'll get some more viewers, get some more people involved. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned, fellas. Make sure you continue to check us out, www.mhl.hockey. Follow us on Twitter at Moose on Ice. Mr. Hollywood, Giant 918, signing out. Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.